Hello everybody. It is Tuesday the 29th of March and I want to talk about the War of Armageddon, the final war between good and evil. And for it to be just that, the final war, we need to fight it correctly. We need to see which two sides are actually opposing each other. So, and I want to show you this here. And I want to show you how we are being driven into fighting the wrong war. First of all, the War of Armageddon is a spiritual war. It is a war fought in heaven, on the level of thought and of words. And what these thoughts and these words do is they create a perception in us. And this perception of ourselves. And there it is creating the wrong perception of us, and we are fighting the wrong war. So get out of the materialistic for now. We are not dealing with flesh and blood. We are dealing with spiritual wickedness in high places. That is, we're dealing with people that have an understanding of this, that have a knowledge, and they're using that knowledge the wrong way. We need to have that understanding in order to fight this war correctly. First of all, what is being given to us as good and evil, the war between good and evil. Those are actually the two sides of our nature. We are at war with ourselves. We are being set to go to war with ourselves. And in us, it is Satan, which is the will to receive, and is Lucifer. It is the will to give. And in having those two sides, we are actually the image of God. Because what do we say about God? The Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. So if we are the will to receive and the will to give, we are actually in His image. And we need to be both sides to create balance, which is the whole intention of the Creator. The Creator creates all the parts. It creates ecosystems in which the parts cooperate by giving and receiving of each other. So in order to function in that ecosystem, we must be capable of both. But those two sides are being set at war with each other, where one is being declared light and the other is being declared darkness. And that's not true. The way they should function is if we need to create balance within ourselves, within our health, within everything, within nature. If we have too much of something, we need to take away. If we don't have too much of something, we need to give to that in order to create balance. So if we lose either side of that, we can no longer function within creation. We most certainly cannot function as an independent part of creation. We become slaves because we lose the ability to reason. You need two sides in order to reason. That's another thing. If you look at the book, the Bible, and you have this God, and his first intention was, his first commandment was to possess the world, to subdue it, to rule over it, and to have dominion. And we were created to serve that. the first thing that served that intention was the will to receive. That is the Old Testament. So, and it is our will to receive that found a way. And the way is through the law, through the rule of the law, through strength, and by creating fear. That side of ourselves served the will to have dominion. And it received for itself, obviously. The people received for themselves. That was the Old Testament. It's all about that. And then came Jesus, and he basically brought the yin to the yang, the other side of ourselves, the will to give, and how to work that and the ways in which you can give. But that knowledge was not brought, not given to us, brought to our awareness that we have that side, being aware of it. Not so that one side should rule over the other, but so that we can use both sides and they can cooperate, which is or serve the same intention, which is to create balance. It is not one ruling over the other. But there's the war that we are now having to take sides, and we're going to lose either way. And to the intention that wants dominion, it doesn't actually matter which side wins, because it can use both. And in the material world, we're already saying these things. Yeah? We're talking about divide and conquer. Yeah? And then, but our attention, the conjurer, is diverting our attention to the material world. Look at it, and we can see it. Of course we can see it. That's what you're talking about. No, that is not what you're talking about. What is coming out of us at the moment, and it's circling through, our conversations. That is coming out of a knowledge of ourselves. It's coming from inside of us, and it's talking about inside of us, not outside. Look for the truth inside. We're divided and we're being conquered because our two sides are being set at war with each other. Look at the outcome of the book of Revelation. Look at the outcome, yeah? The armies of heaven are coming to earth. God forbid that they should. This is not a war that should be fought on a materialistic plane. Because if we are embroiled in a fight for survival on a materialistic level, yeah, we'll have very little time to think and reason, which is what we must do now. So no, it should not, under any circumstances, become a war on the materialistic plane. It shouldn't. It's a war that's been fought in heaven, and that's where it should stay. So Jesus comes with the armies of heaven anyway in the book, and he defeats Satan. Yeah? So that is the will to receive. That is what we are being told as greed, and it's really bad. It's all for yourself, it's all greed. And no, if it's working balance, it's you want what you need. And there's nothing wrong with that. So balanced, it is actually good. But we're being told it's all bad. It's all bad. Put it in a lid, in a pit, and put a lid on it, and we're all going to become like Jesus. Yeah? We're becoming this light being. All sweetness and light and compassion. And what we'll do then is we'll ask nothing for ourselves. Yeah? We will own nothing. We will work our arse off for some supposed greater good. And we're all going to be deliriously happy. Does that sound familiar to you? Yeah, you're looking for Jesus. I think it might be Klaus Schwab. I think he's here already. And no, that is not good. We are becoming mindless slaves. But that is the whole purpose. So that you can no longer reason and you're becoming a slave. So, and here's another thing that's been bandied about at the moment. Yeah? In war, truth is the first casualty. Do you hear that left, right and center? Again, the conjurer is saying, look at the world, look at the materialistic world. And we're looking at the war and we're looking at the mainstream media. And we're saying, yes, there it is. In war, truth is the first casualty. We can see it. That is what we're talking about. No, that is not what you're talking about. You're talking about the truth inside of you. The truth inside of you, which is made out of two, will be slain. And it doesn't matter which side of it you slay. It will kill you. If one side is gone, you're gone. That's what we're talking about. Divide and conquer. Divide the two sides of your nature. Slay the truth. The truth is that you need both in order to function correctly. You need to both give and take away whatever is needed to restore balance. And if our two sons, if our two sides work toward that intention, they're both light. They both create good. Taking away will create good and giving will create good. If they're in the extremes and only one, they will both be darkness. Yeah? Just being a compassionate, lovey-dovey, I give to everybody all the time and ask nothing for myself. That's not light. And in the end it will kill you. That's self-sacrifice. And it will kill you. That's not good. So there you see the war correctly. You can see the wickedness in high places that are dividing us inside of ourselves. Our two sides of nature. And they're ruling through that. Through us not being the full shilling. So the true war that needs to be fought is between us being the fullness of our truth, both sides, and understanding how we have to use them correctly in order to create balance. That's our truth. And that truth is at war with that which wants to divide us inside of ourselves. That is the true war. If we fight that war and we come out the fullness of our truth, then hopefully that was the last war. The war you're being told you're fighting, good against evil, Jesus against Satan. The will to receive against the will to give. It will leave you a slave, and I don't think it will be the last war. Because as we can subdue that side of our nature, I'm not sure we can do away with it altogether. It will always rise again, and there will always be another war, which is what's happening. No war is the last war. We must become our truth. We must have the correct perspective of ourselves. We need to have the correct perspective of the two sides of our nature and what they should actually work. And we have to have the true meaning of these words, like Satan is bad, Satan is bad. No, understand what Satan actually is and what it works. Yeah? And Jesus is good. Jesus is actually Lucifer, and then you'll be told he's bad as well. No understanding of yourself, no understanding of that book, no understanding of the war that is actually going on, because our view is being directed to the physical, whereas this is fought in heaven, and that's where we must fight it. Anyway, I hope this was in any way useful to you. If it was, please share this video and please donate to my channel. And I shall talk to you again soon. Bye.